What's going on, good people? I'm excited to talk about this project because I feel like as a GRC engineer, anytime you can add value to an organization, help other people out, speed up the process, and really just help the business do more, like it's a win-win for everybody. So what I'm going to go over with you guys, it's the AWS Inactive Key Rotation Check. And at the end, I want to walk you through first of all, like what this does, but then like most importantly, like I'm going to show you a demo. It's just so cool what you can do with technology nowadays. So the overview of it. So this project is an automated GRC engineering security tool. It identifies, classifies, and reports on risky AWS IAM access keys across any kind of AWS environment. So whether it's a small environment, big environment, it doesn't matter. And what this can do, the time it can save, the money that it can save is kind of ridiculous, to be honest. So instead of manually reviewing credentials in AWS console or relying on expensive SaaS compliance platforms, this tool programmatically analyzes access keys lifecycle data, and it does it using Python, and it connects to AWS using APIs to generate audit-ready evidence and actionable security intelligence. So you're always audit-ready. It doesn't matter. It's not like you're going to be scrambling around last minute trying to figure things out. People aren't going to be pulling their hair out. It's not going to be crazy. There's not going to be stress. It's just dope. So again, this demonstrates how compliance can move from manual checklists to automated, risk-driven security engineering. So really, here's kind of what the problem is for most organizations. So you're dealing with inactive or stale AWS access keys, and they're one of the most common cloud security risks. So you have like old credentials that remain active, and they can become permanent backdoors if leaked or forgotten. So most organizations currently rely on manual reviews, which those are, and I think we all know, they're time consuming. They're definitely not scalable. No historical evidence trail. And then you're also dealing with like high human error. It just happens. We're humans, right? Whereas enterprise compliant SaaS tools, with those you're looking at expensive and reoccurring costs, vendor locked in, meaning you get so used to having to deal with a particular vendor and you're so vested in that vendor, even though it's costing you a huge amount of money, you really can't operate without it. So you get locked in. Limited customization of any risk logic. So yeah, they have a tool that does it all, but you can't customize it to your individual organization, and each individual organization is different. So if you're limited by the customization you can do on it, like that's a huge disadvantage. And then oftentimes those function as black boxes. So yeah, it may spit out that you're audit ready, but you don't know what happens in between. There's no way to verify, okay, what did that run? Does that mean our keys are within 30 days or 40 days? You don't know the logic that was ran. So the solution, really, this tool provides a cost-effective automation layer that it can scan all IAM users and access keys. It evaluates key age and the last usage date. It applies configurable risk classification logic. It generates timestamp compliance evidence, and it produces remediation recommendations, which is huge. So it doesn't just make the GRC engineering job easier. It makes the whole team, whether it's the engineer team, it just makes everyone's job simpler and easier. So key capabilities, risk classification engine. So classifies keys in a category such as critical, which it definitely basically means you need to go in there and fix something like now. High, medium, low, compliant, and then never used. So thresholds are configurable to align with internal security policy. So again, those can all be changed, adjusted, and modified. And then it's going to spit out evidence. It's going to spit out JSON structured and output, but then you're also going to get CVS files as well. So you can have both. So whether it's a JSON that you maybe want to send to Jira, or CSV, maybe management wants to see that, whatever, you have that as well. So evidence is going to include account ID, timestamp, username, access key ID, risk classification, key age, last used data, and recommended action. So everything you could possibly need is right here. And then it maps perfectly to SOC 2, also NIST 800. And really, most importantly, is the business value. Like, like how does this really truly impact the business? Because at the end of the day, that's what really matters. So you have risk reduction, so it identifies any unused credentials before attackers can even exploit them. It reduces attack surface automatically. It really moves security from this point of view to a preventative. Cost efficiency, which anytime you can save a business money, in my opinion, is a good thing. So no SaaS licensing is required. This is all done within AWS. Runs using standard Python and Bo 2.3. So again, all done right inside of AWS using the command line. Audit confidence. So it's gonna generate timestamp repeatable evidence. It eliminates spreadsheets and driven compliance, and it provides proof, most importantly, of the control operation, not just policy existence. So how it works at a high level, and again, I'm going to show you a demonstration of it in a second here. So it authenticates using AWS right through the command line using credentials. It enumerates IAM users, access keys, and then what it's going to do, it's going to pull the life cycle and the last used metadata. So all the metadata it will pull right from AWS. And then it applies configurable risk logic and generates compliance evidence. The technology stack that's used is right here. And the thing about this is it gives you deployment flexibility. So this currently runs locally, what I'm going to show you in a second here. But the adaptation you can do for whatever organization needs to be done can be done. So whether it's connecting it to Lambda, whether it's continuous integration, whether it's continuous delivery, it really doesn't matter. There's so much you can do to really customize this to the needs of the business. Here's a sample of the output that's going to be generated, which I'll show you this in a second. Also the JSON, again, I'm going to show you this in just a second. The CSV file that's generated. And then lastly, so why does all this even matter? So it goes beyond passing audits, right? So this gives you like audit readiness. It's just a byproduct, but that's not the goal. Here's the real goal: to prevent credential abuse, reduce persistence and access risk, and enforce key lifecycle hygiene at scale. So as a business, obviously we want the business to grow. We want the business to thrive. So we want to be able to scale with the business. So it's not compliant theater. It's actually security engineering. So the future direction of this, the project is part of a broader evolution. So you have GRC, security automation, AI assistance and risk detection. And then you got autonomous security operations. So let's kind of just jump into everything because I want to show you how everything works. So right here, we have the command line opened up. And I am just going to run this simple command. That way you can see exactly how fast this is going to pull data. So it's just going to take a second to run. And as you can see, within a matter of seconds, it's going to spit out all the data. So it really doesn't matter how many AWS accounts are hooked up. It doesn't matter how many users. This is a test account, but it really doesn't matter. So if I jump over here real quick, we can see the account this is connected to. So this is one of the users. You can see this particular user has 2 access keys. One of them is active, one of is inactive. And then there's one other user we can tell by the report here. Total access keys, there was 3. Total users was 6. Again, we can see up here, total keys was 3. But then again, right here, you can see compliance rate 100%. So everything's within compliance. And then again, we have our JSON report. We can click on and see that. So again, if you wanted to send this over, this could automatically be sent via Lambda, maybe to Jira, maybe to the engineering team, DevOps, whoever needs to see this has access to it. And then we also have the CSV. So whether it's upper management, whoever needs to see this at any time, auditors, the information is right here. So again, wanted to do a quick walkthrough and show you this project. Hopefully you guys got some value out of it. I'll catch you on the next one.